We're making high protein waffles that are soft on the inside and crispy and toasted on the outside. We're blending cottage cheese and making these gluten-free with almond flour, but you could use a variety of flours. Hello, my name is Nicole Bonilla, and if you love healthier recipes to our favorite foods that taste amazing, then you are in the right place. Now you're welcome to jot down these ingredients as we go along, or you can click on the link that's in the video description below, and that will take you to the full recipe with all the details, including nutrition facts, ingredients and substitutions, and frequently asked questions. Now to make these waffles really tender on the inside as well as high in protein, we're going to use cottage cheese, and you can use any variety that you like. I like using the full fat version for the most creaminess. So we're going to start with 1 cup of cottage cheese in a blender, and you could use any high-speed blender that you like. I'm just using my Ninja food processor. And then we'll add 3/4 a cup of milk. Next we'll crack in 2 eggs. And then we'll add 2 tablespoons of maple syrup for some natural sweetness, and 2 tablespoons of some light olive oil. You can also use avocado oil or coconut oil, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And then we're just going to snap on the lid, and then I'm going to blend this until it is smooth and creamy. So that only took about 15 seconds, and we no longer have any of that curdled cottage cheese texture. Now to make these high in protein, gluten-free, and with some really delicious flavor, we're going to use almond flour. So I'm just adding 2 cups of almond flour. Now it works best to combine almond flour with an additional flour to help give it a little bit more structure. So I'm adding 1/3 cup of some gluten-free flour, but you could also use all-purpose flour if you don't need it to be gluten-free. And I include a bunch of other flour combinations that you can use. They're in a table in the ingredients and substitution section of the recipe. You can find it just by clicking on the link that's in the description below. Next we'll add 2 teaspoons of baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So now let's screw on the lid, and then we're going to blend this just until incorporated. And then we have this beautiful smooth waffle batter. So I'll just take this off the base, pull out the blade, and then we're ready to cook our waffles. Now to cook your waffles, you could use any waffle maker that you like. I really like using this waffle maker because I can make 4 at once. And the size is really convenient because I can batch prep these, store them in the fridge, and then the kids can pull them out and just drop them in the toaster in the morning. So I'm just going to lightly spray this with a little bit of coconut oil. And then I'm using a 1/3 cup scoop, but I'm only going to scoop out about 1/4 cup of batter. And then we'll drop that right into each of these little irons. Well, it's been 3 minutes, and I can tell by that toasty smell that they are ready. Go ahead and open this up. Woo! We have these beautiful golden toasted waffles. Go. We'll put them onto my board, and then we'll repeat with the remaining batter. And with my waffle maker, I end up with 1 dozen gorgeous cottage cheese waffles. You're ready to enjoy them however you like. That is delicious. I love all the flavor that comes in from the almond flour. That has the perfect texture. It is just nice and toasty on the outside, but then the inside is just really soft and tender. If you could use more healthy inspiration on a regular basis, I invite you to join my email list. All you have to do is click on the link in the video description below, and that is the best way for us to stay connected. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me in my kitchen to make these really easy waffles, and I have included a link to the full recipe, and it's in the video description below. And that will take you to my website, gentltummy.com. And I also invite you to like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I cannot wait to have you hang out with me again in my kitchen.